All right, everyone, what is going on? We are live. Welcome back to the Unconventional Mindset. My name's Odum. Today is Thursday, May 16th. And every day, Monday through Friday, we get together right here on YouTube and we live stream our process and we get to work on trying to build ourselves a company which is going to generate us $1 million in revenue every single year. And of course, that company is Piixel, which is a Webflow template and component library, along with what we're developing is our educational materials to teach you how to be a better web designer or just to learn how to do stuff about web design, whether that's Webflow or other tools as well. And if you are like me and wanting to, start your own agency, giving you some tools and tips and tricks of things that I've learned along the way of getting to where I am now, I guess, in my career. All right. So enough of that introduction. Let's get right into it. We are getting right back into our style guide. And I was doing a little bit of work here off stream from yesterday just to move this forward a little bit. And basically what I have here is I have the tables here for the different classes. So every class that is going to be available in the style guide is going to be displayed here in this table. In the style sheet, I should say, in tabular form. And so we have something right here for the text color and goes from primary, secondary, white, all the way down to black. And then same thing for background colors. And I just changed it as well too. I typed out background color and then it was just really, really long. And I know when you're looking within Webflow, you don't have very much space. And when you are creating classes and class names. So I know they kind of collapse here, but the less space, the better. So I just short background to BG. I don't know if I want to keep it that way, to be 100% honest. We're just going to have to see what I like and what other people like too. Margins, margin top, margin bottom, and just margin in general. And then paddings as well. So I just kind of did those and just kind of displayed them. We're going to fix everything and clean everything up, put everything in the right spot eventually here. The one thing that I was considering doing, and this is definitely something that the mass framework is from. So a lot of the stuff too is, try not to reinvent the wheel here. So I'm taking the things that I really like about the mass framework and the things that I really like about client first and kind of putting them together to create this, whatever this is going to be called for the Piixel framework. Because it's funny, client first is obviously, client first. And then the mass framework, I think, is like developer first. So I feel like the way that I'm thinking about things is like from a designer's perspective. So like I'm not a developer. I don't really I tend not to like short names and having different acronyms or different short descriptions for class names. I like things to be clean. I like things to be minimal, and I like things to be like very semantic. Like when you're reading a class name, to know kind of exactly what it is, regardless of what your skill level is or how much experience you have within a specific project. So yeah, that's kind of my angle and my approach. So I don't know why I like to take the best of both worlds. Okay, so like all this text color and all this background, like all this stuff is going to kind of go away. Although I kind of, things are pretty good. Okay, so I think, text color is going to go with background color. Let's skip utility classes for now. And let's do some tables for our text sizing and, I think just our text sizing and text weight as well. Okay. So, and I think I'm feeling here, I'm wondering if we should put a table column for property so people know what the property is. That's what I'm kind of undecided. But maybe we'll try that and we'll see see how it looks. Let's zoom this in a little bit so you guys can see. A little bit harder for me to work with, but that's okay. As long as you guys can see. All right, so let's create. How are these things going? We're putting them in headings. Let's just duplicate this heading. And And we're going to start with just text size. All right, let's get that. And I think I want to copy this one. Let's bring it all the way down here. Oh shit, no, right here, I think. Is this it? Yeah, text sizing. Okay. All right, we're gonna shift this here to property. Probably delete that and then copy this here. Yeah, but this is, see, I don't like duplicating things. So like this is going to be like font size, right? So put text font size. Like that's the property, but it's going to be the same for all of them. So, right. Now do we want, now what do we have here? So this one we have in client first. It's, yeah, text size and then small, medium, large, regular, all that jazz. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to go with the numbers. Well, we are going to go with numbers. So we're going to do something like this. Text size and then 0.75. I think every once in a while that's 12 pixels. So that's kind of like borderline the smallest you kind of ever would want. But that's what we're going to have it start with. Text size 0.875. Shit. Okay, crashing. I don't know what's going on with Webflow, but maybe, whoops. I didn't really want to submit that, but whatever. Okay, this is something I was just doing to do the colors. We'll probably get to that at some point. Talk about that. Oh, one thing I should probably note, show you guys. I was working on the variables as well too, and I put them in here in these base colors. So base colors for the brand, base colors for neutral, and also transparent here, and then base colors for utility. And I also have a base colors here for Webflow. That's just more for me to have their blue, and then going to have their purple and their green, and then their pink as well. Actually, I think it's just pink and green. So we can identify native elements and also objects as well. So yeah, and all these other ones, I just need to clean up all this other stuff as well too. And we've got to see if we're going to do anything other than colors. And I also don't know if we should do anything like we'll probably do this like, text color and then have that be, neutral 700 or whatever, and then headings. So we'll probably, and then those we'll call these styles as well, and border color. So we'll probably do a few of those generic variables and just to throw them in there so people can kind of see the art of the possible when they're looking at starting their own project. Okay, so, okay, well, yeah, let's pin that, please, and let's get back down to where we were. We were font size. Okay, I deleted everything. Annoying. Text. No, it's not letting me type. It's being very slow. Okay. Oh my goodness. Seven 0.75 REM. So it would be nice to have some place to showcase what these are. So we're going to have to figure out how we're going to want to design that. And what I mean, this is being very, very slow. What I mean by that is right here. Yeah, so I have this table here, but this text size here, it actually shows what it's like. So I feel like almost maybe even having 2 pages, one page to showcase like what the framework is, and then another one to showcase how the styles look in, you know, in the wild. Okay. Should I say 1.0? That's tough. It's a tough call. Right. I don't know what to do with that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is basically, that's when the body is set to 16 pixels. This is 16 pixels. This is 18. It's basically going up by twos. 1.25. I wonder how many we should put in here. I feel like maybe going up to 1.5 should be tops. Yeah, that's kind of what my gut is telling me a little bit here. Oh, I'm not in there. Just delete that. Paste and delete. And this one is footer. The bottom. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Okay, and what's this table doing here? This is kind of, I think that's another one that just got copied over, so let's delete that. Okay. Let's copy that. Text size, and now we want text styles. Oh my goodness, this is so choppy. Let's try refreshing. Okay. Unsaved changes. Okay. Well, there we go. Let's just try a refresh here. See if we can't get it. Close. I have some other Webflow tabs open, so maybe that's causing issues. Okay. Okay. Right. Text style. So what do we actually have for styles? Let's look at the actual style guide here. I'm going to zoom this in. Text and styles. Strike through, italic, muted, text style link. Yeah, see, yeah. I could just call it underline. See, I don't even know if we should have text styles, to be honest. This stuff, for me, it's generally going to be used if you're going to have to create some kind of combo class or just basically some custom class where you're going to be just doing a bunch of different things to the text, not just say putting in a strike through. But I think something like a strike through or italics, maybe a couple of them. Yeah, it's really, I could see that if you're in a paragraph and then you're putting something in a span, and then you just want to strike through something and put something in italics. So maybe let's do a little bit, I guess. Text styles. Text strike through. And then the value, I think, is just actually strike through. Oh, geez, I don't know. Oh, this is so choppy. Let's see. CSS text strike through. It looks like it's text decoration. Yep. So it's line through. Looks like it. Yeah. Oh, line through. And then, oh, this is so bad. It's so choppy. I wonder if it's because I'm live streaming at the same time. Don't know. Text declaration. Italics. Oh my goodness. All right. Text italics is font style. Font style. Ugh. See, the reason why I'm hesitant to put this property in is because you never really do it when you're in here in Webflow, right? You just go in and just put style here and italicize. So what property it is, I don't think really matters unless you're going to take that code elsewhere. But again, if you're doing that stuff, you're doing more advanced things with Webflow, then you're probably not going to be coming. Well, I mean, you might be, but well, anyways. Text strike through, text italics. I'll say, do they have subcaps? They don't, eh? Where it's superscript or subscript. They probably have a custom property you have to add to that. What is that? CSS subscript. It's just the sub tag, right? So they don't seem to have that here. Okay, well, we're not going to worry about that. So I think we just want text now underline. I think I made a spelling mistake in there. I did. Underline. And then we have text declaration. Well, that's painfully slow. Maybe let's close this one as well too. Maybe we can do text caps. And then that will be basically when you have all capitalization, all caps. So CSS, all caps. All right, so that's going to be text transform. Uppercase. Okay. Maybe we'll say all caps. All caps. Should it be like that, or should we just say uppercase? I feel like all caps might be a little bit more appropriate. Okay. Okay, I'm going to copy this one and copy this one again, because now we're going to go to text weight. Text weight. I guess, are we just going to be starting at like 100? All the way up to 900. This is the thing too, is how necessary is it to have all of these weight classes? Especially when you have variable weights. And well, I guess if you have variable weights, it doesn't really matter what you have. It's just, yeah, how much bloat basically do we want to have in this style sheet? Property is font weight. Oh my goodness. Oh, I think I didn't even spell that one right. What the hell? Font. What is it? Wait. Wait, how do you spell wait? It's got to be EI, isn't it? I think that's how you spell wait, right? W. I thought it was I before E, except after C. And sometimes W, maybe? I don't know. Okay. Font weight. Text weight. Should we put in the word weight? So text weight 100. Again, going back to what I'm saying, I think we should, because yeah, we have text size, text weight, we have numbers. Yeah. We don't want to put this one, this footer. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to think if we want to have them all in here. What are the benefits and what are the downfalls? So the benefits are that if people want to use those font weights and want to use those classes, they're already pre-built in, so they can go ahead and use them. The downsides are, I mean, there's file size, there's bloat size in terms of how big the style sheet is. But is that a big deal? We do want to, so we want to be as minimal as possible. I mean, do we want to just keep it to 400 and 700? Oh. But then again, it's good to have things that are kind of in the middle. So you have 300, 400, but then, 600, 700. Maybe like 500 instead of 600. It depends on the font too. Every font renders obviously differently because every font is different. A lot of fonts don't even have all the different values. What to do? I feel like maybe just have 300 to 700. Four, 5, 6, 7. Because 200 and 100, they're going to be super custom situations. And in those situations, people are going to have to deviate from the style guide or just obviously use it as a framework and then build upon it. So, yeah. I don't know. Is it a big deal to have 3 more, right? 100, 200, 800, 900, 4 more? Just like almost 100% more. 4 out of 9. Like, is it a big deal to have more? Yeah, it's not going to hurt anything. Oops. Okay, well. We're going to put it in for now, and then we're going to see how everything shapes up. And how the whole guide is going to look once everything's all said and done. We can get a feel for how big the document is and how difficult it is to navigate through the different properties. All right. Excuse me. Okay. So what do we have for, we have the text weights. The text align, and we'll do the alignments. Yeah, that's not a bad thing to put on your paragraphs as well. Let's right. Text weight. Text alignment. Text align left. text align right. Text align center. And text align, I think we're calling it middle, right? Text align justify, okay. All right, let me just look here. CSS text align. So yeah, it's just left, right, center, justified. Yeah, that's what I thought. Cool, cool. So text line. Geez, that was loud. Okay. Copy, paste, paste, paste. Values left, right. Center. Justify. His footer. His footer there. Good. Right. Okay. So I want to look at maybe doing something about the HTML elements right now. So we have headings, paragraphs, block quotes, ordered lists. Right. Okay. So let's see. Okay, the first things first. Just want to get a handle on this color. All right. Copy that. Okay, thank you. We're going to go here. No, variables. And we're going to go to base color. We're going to go new color, Webflow, purple. And paste that in there. Okay. Okay. So for this one, this is a new table. Oh shit, what the hell did I just do? There we go, text alignment. Oh shit, what happened? HTML elements. Okay, we're not gonna, this is not gonna be is class, this is gonna be is, oh geez. It's not a class, is it element? Like native, what do you, is tag? I'm just going to say is like native. Mm-hmm. And for this one, oh wait, hang on a second. If I go back to is class, but let's also put like is like native as well. So then all we need to do is change the background to this, right? And this is where creating some type of a class might make a little bit more sense. Well, cell value. Yeah, because this is also cell value. And here we're throwing a border around it as well. Well, that's the is class part. Yeah, anyways, I think that's okay. All right, so as an example, we have H1 and there's no property. I mean, well, I guess there is a property for, there could be lots of different properties. I guess we could just be talking about like font sizes here. You know, so this would be 2.5. Yeah. And this is here is just like the font size. And then we'd almost want to have one that's just H1, which is, because instead of having, in terms of being a little bit more simplistic, for the heading styles, I have heading style H1. Instead of saying heading style H1, just having it H1, I find works well. One thing that I know that the MAST framework does really nicely is that it puts in what the values are on the different browser sizes. So that's kind of nice too. And that by that I mean what happens when it goes to tablet mode, which is landscape. I think it's like mobile landscape and then mobile portrait. I think that's really, really cool. And I wonder if that's something that we should do the same. I kind of feel like we should, but hey, who knows? Oh, Kevin, how's it going? Welcome. I forgot to start my comments. Whoops. Let's see if that if they'll still come through. I'm not sure. Everything's been acting out really slowly today. Oh, there they are. Perfect. It's working. Anyways, welcome. Almost Friday. Looking forward to the weekend. I'm not racing this weekend, but Andrea's doing her half marathon at I think it's the Blue Nose half marathon. It's kind of the biggest running event here in Halifax of the year, which is kind of cool. Although I'm not a runner. More of a, I would prefer to bike. Actually, I prefer to play hockey. Who am I kidding? Hockey player. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how do we portray those on the different browser levels? I guess we would just add different new columns. We could do it that way. Is there another way that we can do it? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, while we think about that, let's have a quick look. We have the headings. We have paragraphs, block quotes. Yeah, right. Ordered lists. All right. Let's just throw a couple of them. Let's throw them all here just so we can see. Paragraph. So this thing's going to have more than one value. So like we're going to have, for example, you're going to have font size. We're going to have to make this more, definitely going to have to make this more columns actually. Because we're going to want to have, it's going to be multiple properties. Line height. And yeah, but the lists are even the lists are going to have different things because it's going to be, well, actually, no, we're not going to worry about margins and paddings and any of that kind of stuff. Yeah, we're going to leave everything as native as it can be, as native as it can. If that makes any sense. Okay, so I have paragraphs. So that's native. You know, it's going to be something like this. Oh, God, this is so painfully slow. Okay, 1 REM. And then the line height, for example, is going to be maybe 1.3 EM, something like that. And ordered list. That's going to be native. It's going to be the same thing. Just going to need to think if we're going to have to do anything different. What did we have for here? Let me, actually, I should probably go here. Then I could see right off the code itself. All right. Well, let's take a look. Oh. All unordered lists. Okay, so I did update the padding a little bit. So that's interesting. So padding in the margins. So how much of this stuff should actually be in here, in this table? I feel like it doesn't need to have everything. And we don't want to do that because that would just be way, way too much. So I think this one doesn't even have a font size attached to it at all. Or a line height. It just has what's default in just the body. And we should almost have something as well too for the body and like what we do with the body. Because I think, select the font family, the size, the line height, the color. I think it's good to define that, especially so people will know. All right. So copy. And we'll go unordered list. Yeah, this is where displaying this kind of information in a tabular format doesn't make much sense. At least I don't think it does. But because it is, I'm very curious to know what to put in here in these different columns. Because it's not the same thing as just something with, that's just text-based. But I mean, block quotes are text-based. You know, a block quote might be, well, almost certainly would be a lot larger, right? And what happens when we have an actual link? All links. I wonder if we should write it like that, like how Webflow writes it. And what I mean by that is, where's our scroll bar? Is we should have something like this. All links. And then even, oops. Then you have something like this as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that's what. Oh, this is so super slow. Yeah, body all pages. So we can kind of say like, okay, well, it's set to this, 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 and this. I don't know if that makes the most sense to do. Because again, what's the point of this? Okay, here's the body. Because the point of this style guide is twofold. Number one, to provide a template and a good starting point for people to be able to create their own projects. But in terms of the documentation, it's also important for people to understand what those kind of starting points are, right? So if that's the case, then putting this information in here might not be so bad. Again, it'll be all typographic information, what the font family is, the size, line heights, and then the font color. I have the background set to white as well. I don't know if that makes the most sense, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know, because in here we just displayed it. It's like, oh, this is a paragraph. This is a block quote. And you just kind of, that's just what it is. I guess maybe we could do a combination of both. It's also good to have in some cases, or so someone may not need to create more classes, right? Which are you referring to? Are you referring to some of the stuff that I talked about before? Like, I don't know if you're. It's also good to have in. Someone may need to create more classes. Oh, so I guess maybe what you're saying is, if you're kind of up to date into the same timestamp as right now, is it's good to throw in these things so people will know if they need to create more classes or not. Yeah, we definitely want to showcase exactly everything that's going on within the style guide. So yeah, it is important to know. And then they'll know what they're creating and what they might need to override. Yeah, yes, that. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Yeah, so we're on the same page. Good point. Yeah. So how do we showcase it? I guess we're just going to have to let's create a new, let's just do one here for fun. And then, because I don't know how many columns this is going to need, but let's just duplicate this here. Okay, let's just delete everything here. except for, let's leave this one for now. Let's just say native Webflow elements. I think I didn't spell that right. Okay, it's like a 10-second delay here. Could not save your site. Please check your connection. Yeah. It's not liking me today. Elements. Status.webflow. Okay, everything seems to be up, so I'm not sure why we're slow. Okay. So we have is 3 columns. We don't know how many columns this is going to be. So so we'll just say not class, but element. And for this one, we definitely have the font size. We also have font family. We have line height. We also set, what do we set? Oh, I can't read it. Hang on. I don't know why. Let's just put this. We need to put this into a column. Let's say is 6 column. And grid 6. There we go, stretch. Okay. Let's just go, stop it. Okay. Let's go up here real quick so we can see what we actually did do. So we updated the font family, the font size, the line height, the text color, and the background color. So 5 things. Okay, so font size, font family, line height. We're missing, well, let's go font color. And the last one we're missing, I do believe, is the background color. No, I thought it was 5. Oh yeah, no, it was 6. But it was 5 things, but we need 6 columns, right? Background. Background color. All right, let's verify that. All right, background color, check. Font color, yep. Font size, line height, font family. We should probably throw in the font weight there as well too. Okay. And let's rename this one to 7 column. And put it as actual 7 columns. Okay, so that's getting actually a little out of hand in terms of a table. Well, okay, we can think about how we're going to display it later. Let's not fuss too much about that right now. So font size, right? So set our defaults. So how do we say that we're going to be going at an actual variable? So there should probably be a variable in here that's going to be just like fonts. And then there's going to be a font for, like, I guess a primary font and a secondary font. So we'll have two variables for that. And then we'll have something for headings, and then also for just your regular, just your written stuff. So headings and basically everything else. And everything else is going to be the font family for this, the body all pages. So, but it's going to be a variable. So I don't know how we should say that. Let's just put it like this for now. Variable, I don't know what we're going to call it. Let's just say it's called primary font. And we're crashed again. Oh, this is really frustrating. This is like my 5th crash today, like within the 2 hours. Maybe my computer needs like a reboot. I know this looks really messy, but don't worry, we're going to clean it up, and we're closer to being done than not being done. I know it looks really messy and unorganized, but once we get these little details figured out, it's going to be pretty smooth sailing. It's all figured out in me brain. Okay. Okay, font family, and oh, I didn't keep that. Okay, so what variable? Primary font. Oh my god. Okay, font weight, it's going to be 400. Font color, again, it's going to be, I wonder, yeah. We should have something, yeah, to showcase that it's like a variable. I don't know exactly how we're going to showcase that, but we should find some way to design it so it looks nice. So text, no, not color. We got rid of that, remember? Text. Neutral, 700. Line height, 1.3 EM. I think that's what it's going to be. And background color is just going to be background white. Right, and now, see, this is the problem with these things and having them in tabular form. So we're going to have something, we need something for the ordered lists, we need something for the unordered lists. Those two are going to be the same. Block quote is going to be a little bit different. Oh, okay, even backing up to these lists, those are going to be different because if we look at them, let's go way back, way up here. Grid. What do we have here? Yeah, if we go up here, all unordered lists. So we have margins that we need to call. We need paddings as well. I guess it's just that. Margins and padding. So maybe that's not so bad. Because it's going to inherit everything from body, right? Same thing for this one, I would imagine. The lists themselves, nothing on the list. Okay. And all ordered lists. Yeah, that's the same. And just as an example, let's look at block quotes. Block quotes, we have different paddings. margin. You have different weight and different sizing and height. So lots of stuff in the padding, in the block quote. And then the border on the side. Oh my goodness. Yeah, lots of stuff. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to figure out what could be another way. I mean, we could write it out. Should we write it out in code? No, I don't think that'll look very clean. We do have them all here though, right? There's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then body, right? Yeah. Sorry, I'm just thinking about how we should call these and how we should structure them. I'm not quite sure. Think. Maybe we can do it so that the elements are on the columns that are up here. So this is the body, links, block quotes, and what have you. And then we have all of the properties listed down below. And then if they have something on them, then we just put that number in there. So we basically just fill it out like a grid. That way, we know there's only a limited number of elements that are going to be, how many rows we're going to need, how many columns we're going to need. But then we can have as many rows as we need to handle all the different properties. So that could be a way that we can do it. I don't know if that's going to look the nicest. And it's going to be a little bit different too. So it's not nice having tables that are read differently as well in the same sheet. So that might not be so good. All right. Well, we're gonna have to just think about it, I think. And then the last few things are forms. Just while I'm thinking about that, we're going to need to do the forms. And I think we should, again, yeah. I remember doing the forms with the client first, and I wasn't a fan of how the forms were in terms of how you had to name the different parts of the form. On all the class names. They were a little bit cumbersome, but I'm not sure how we can do it any better. Yeah, it's like this form underscore component. Yeah, that was a little bit clunky. I'm gonna have to think about that one as well too, and look at how I did the ones in the style guide as well, in Piixel pieces, because we did lots of forms in there. And I think I think we used client first. I'm almost positive we used client first. In fact, pretty much for everything we use client first. Okay. So we got to think about the forms. The rich text, that should be pretty straightforward, because with rich text, if I know from here, we just have one class of rich text. Yeah, rich text. And basically, the H1s to all the H's, the headings are all going to be the same of what the regular H1s through H6 are. The paragraph, everything is going to be basically the same. Except there might be some things that we might want to modify in the rich text, specifically what it does to images and videos, just adding some paddings and margins and stuff like that. And maybe the same thing with the headings. But other than that, it'll be kind of the same thing. So that'll be pretty easy to display. And then yeah, we got the heading styles and then buttons. Again, very straightforward. Let's do. So yeah, let's do the buttons. I like. Oh, where are they? Oh my goodness, so much scrolling. Okay, buttons, 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 buttons. One thing I'm not a fan of, well, I guess it's gonna have to do, but like the is small and then the is large buttons. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how useful those modifiers are. I like the button. I love its secondary. Love reverse. Those ones are fantastic. And the icon one, I think we're going to keep that. We're going to keep this style guide as simple as possible and not really worry about icons at all. Small and large, maybe. Okay, let's get something going here. Okay, we're gonna copy not this 7 one, but we'll copy this one here. Right, there we go. Okay. So we're gonna call this one, what are we gonna call them? Buttons. So I'm always torn between button and then BTN for the short form. I know when I'm coding, I always use button, the full word. Again, I guess I'm just partial to, I don't know, just using the full word. Okay, value. I don't know exactly what to say for this one. Like this is just, maybe it'll just be text. Standard button. Okay, delete. I'm going to copy paste this one. So this one I haven't done two side by side. Okay, so that looks pretty cool. But let's actually, we're gonna have to throw them in a thing here. Button group. And we're just going to flex these guys and a little bit of space between. All right, there we go. Button, and then is secondary. With basically, oops. I know just the background is going to be background, secondary. Oh, maybe we can do it right here. We can say background color. And maybe, oh, actually, we'll just copy like this one, right? Copy. Instead of writing it out, then you can actually see. Paste it in. Copy, paste. Background, this would be secondary. Right. I don't know what other columns we might need in this one, so I'm just going to make a few of them here, and then we'll figure that out. So button is, what is it? Reverse is what I think I call it. Buttons is reverse, yeah. Border and font color. Let's say, let's go and like this. Changed to actually, we don't even know if it's primary. Could be secondary as well. Oh shit. No, that's not going to work. Because we don't have a secondary reverse. This is just primary reverse. So background, primary, 700. While, no, not while. And then background is also equal to something like that. We have to figure out how to really display this better. So one is text. So we have this in here, but this is going to be, I think I get when this would be used is if you want to have like a button and this button beside each other, and then almost like when you have the login and then the actual button. But I wonder if something like that would be better to put it in its own class, so you can just flex it and just flex it into the middle. So you can be more in control over the positioning of those elements, as opposed to putting it with this invisible kind of box around it. So I'm not a big fan of this is text. So I think we're going to even just cut that out. So I think we're just going to have button secondary is reverse. And then, well, let's put this to back to primary color. And we also have white, but we can't really throw that in there because you can't see it. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it here for today, because we still have, like, I have some thinking that I want to do around how to display these things that aren't just your typical, like if we go back to the text, like those ones are pretty easy. Here's the text color, here's the value, here's a property, or whether it's the, the font size or the padding margin, or the colors. That's very easy. But when it gets to styling like actual elements, there's way more things involved into it. So I'm not sure exactly how to display that in a tabular form. So I'm going to take some time and I'm going to think about that, and hopefully we can think about it. And then by tomorrow we can kind of implement it. And then hopefully everything that we have will be kind of moved over into this new format of kind of displaying things. And then, we can clean everything up, remove all the styles that we're not using that we had in this original one, but we noticed that we didn't use it when we started making our components. And then we can trim everything down and get things ready for releasing the newest version. So yeah, so I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for joining, Kevin. Thank you for popping in, and there's a few other people that did pop in. So thank you very much for your time. I really, really appreciate that. And as always, have a great day, and keep plugging away at the work that you're doing. And hopefully together we'll race to 1 million. We should have like kind of a race to see who can get their business at 1 million. And everyone should put in like, well, nothing crazy. I'll say like 10%. No, but we should put in, a couple bucks or whatever, and then put in a pool, and then whoever gets there fastest kind of wins the pool. I don't know. We'll have to figure out how we can do that. Actually, I might have some ideas about that. Anyways, to come sooner rather than later on that kind of stuff. All right, guys. Thank you once again, and again, have a great day. And of course, we'll see you back here tomorrow.